70% on each of these, then there's no partial credit on the final. Which makes my job easier, but it's not good for you. But if you accept that, that's up to you. They also provide one other facet of information that isn't necessarily elaborated on the syllabus. The syllabus says that if a student has taken each of the 4 practice tests for tests 1, 2, 3, and 4 and gotten 50% or better, that at the end of the semester I have the power to be able to bump your grade 1 percentage point. That never shows up in my math lab. I can't change a grade. I can't do anything with that. But when all is said and done, all the partial credit that you may have earned is done, the things are dropped, and you look at your grade and it shows a 79.1. A 79.1 is not 79.5 or better, so it's still a C grade. But if you've taken those 4 practice tests and you've gotten your 50% or higher, then when I look at grades to put into LeoNet, that 79.1 becomes an 80.1, which means you got the B that you probably deserve. If you didn't take all 4 of the practice tests prior to the test, you've already paid the penalty once for not getting partial credit on the test. There are not for credit versions that are available, but theoretically, if you didn't do one of the 4 practice tests, you cannot get 1 percentage point bump at the end of the semester because you didn't do what you're supposed to do as you went along. But I have a better idea. I will use these not only to determine whether you're going to get partial credit on the final, but I will use those as a secondary way that you can get that 1% bump if you missed one of the 4 practice tests. So for some reason you decided after practice test number 1 that you weren't going to, you didn't take practice test number 1 because you thought you didn't need it, and then you found out that, holy cow, Batman, I didn't do real well on the test, and I should have taken it, it's too late for you to get that partial credit or to get that 1 point bump at the end of the semester. But I will use these 3 at 70% or better to also increase your grade by that 1 percentage point. Just to take care of the person whose mind is thinking 2 steps ahead. So if I've already got the 4 tests taken, and I also get these at 70%, does that mean I get 2% bump? No. You get 1%, one time. You either already earned it with the 4, or you can earn it still if you didn't get the 4 by getting your 70% on each of these, okay? But they have to be the credit versions, not the not for credit versions. So by Sunday night, it's too late to get partial credit on the final, bless you, and it's too late to get the 1% bump, because it's all said and done. So with only 7 people that have looked at, maybe only 6 people, 6 on one test and 1 on the other test, some of us are lagging behind. So don't let that go by the wayside, because Monday morning, even though you can look at, you still have time to be able to practice for the final, since you're not doing it until Tuesday, it's too late to get partial credit and it's too late to get the bumps. So take care of that quickly.
We need a 70% on the quizzes to get
70% on each one of these. They're quizzes, they count as part of your grade, so that means that they could be something that's dropped if that's your lowest test grade, but if you don't have a 70% on each one of those, then you don't get partial credit on the final. Okay? Yes?
Does the not for credit practice test not count in the 50%?
Not any longer, because you had to take those practice tests prior to the test. The reason that those not for credit versions were out there was because when the practice test closed on a Tuesday and you didn't take your test until Thursday, there was a day-and-a-half lap in there that we needed to make sure that students could still practice on the final. So you needed to get that 50% prior to the test to get partial credit on the test, and then it also carried over to that continuation of the 1%. So there's a second way that you can still pick that up if you missed one of the practice tests, okay? So we got through quite a few of the exercises. Oh, by the way, just as a reminder, I mean, I think I've already sent you an email. If I haven't, I've done it anyway. Oh, there was something else I did. Final exam review. I put a link on the left-hand side of your tab of the menu dealing with the final exam review. This final exam review that sits up here is that document that I told you I was going to post so that you could see all the questions that I found that I thought would be appropriate. That's only 20 questions in here. These are the type of things you can see on the final. These are the things we're going over and reviewing. To this afternoon or tomorrow sometime, a solution for this will pop up. Actually, we'll go ahead, gone through the problems and work them all out step by step for those people that want a cleaner copy. That's also what's being done in here, because what we did Monday in class, these are the things, the slides that we went through Monday. So we got through 6 or 7 of the questions out there before we ran out of time. So our goal is to get through as many of the other questions as we possibly can today, and me giving you an idea about what's going to be there and what to see. So those are not only posted under the Smartboard notes, because there's a final exam review part 1, but they're also posted under the final exam review. When I put them in the Smartboard notes, someone told me, well, I can't find the final exam review because they weren't looking in the right place because we didn't really do anything else in the Smartboard notes stuff up there. This message was a leftover from the first test when I put some information in there and it needs to go away. So, done now. Now it looks cleaner. Okay, so anyway, there we go. So the last problem that we worked Monday was the combination lock problem.